How's everyone doing? Everyone's doing well. Happy Friday. It's been a great week. As always, right? It is Friday. You never want to, get too crazy on Fridays, right? Especially if you're green, even if you're down, right? Or even if you're even, right? No matter what, I really think you should. Fridays are not for being aggressive. One thing I wanted to go over today is what I said yesterday, right? I said we're likely to test this 387.31 level, which is this previous resistance, right? This previous support, and it's a great area to enter calls, right? Who was here yesterday that heard me say that, right? You can always go back to my stream yesterday and look at what I said, right? What I said was this is a great area to enter calls with the stop loss below the next support below. Right? You enter here and your target's the resistance above. Right? There was a little gap to be filled. Right? So 390.65 would be the first target, and the next target would be that 391.38, and we got right below it. Right? So target was basically hit. So let's drop, like thumbs up in the chat or something. Let's get some activity here. Friday, weekend's coming up. You entered Google 105 calls. Yeah, Google's up 2.7% here. The chart looks great. The daily chart looks very, very good. A lot of charts look good on the higher time frames. All right, if we take a look at the overall chart here, all right, look at the weekly. All right, we have a nice double bottom. All right, perfect double bottom, and we're getting very close to breaking out here. This is on the weekly. All right, daily, same thing. Right. Also, look at SPY and SPX. This chart looks amazing. Right, this is SPX. Higher lows, lower highs. Price action is getting super, super tight. Right. We are getting ready for a big breakout. This is on the daily. If we take a look at the weekly, right, look at this chart. If we can break above 40.15 or below this level here at 38.89, right, we're most likely gonna, if we break this level, we'll test this level. If we break this level, we'll test this level. Okay. Yeah, let's go Giants. Giants play tomorrow. I'm a Giants fan. C-Bless is an Eagles fan. Should be interesting. Can't believe they even made it there. Daniel Jones has been incredible. But let's take a look at the smaller time frames. All right, so this is SPY on the smaller time frames. All right, we have the nice rising wedge breakdown. Now we're consolidating right here. All right, so the range that I would look at today is just the high and the low from yesterday. All right, we're right in the middle of the range here. All right, I would look for this 387.26 level, which is the low from yesterday, or the high, 391.08. If we could break either of those levels, I would play that direction. Big to 7.5 points. Yeah, it's not bad. Although they haven't really played a team like the Eagles yet, so we'll see what happens. Netflix up 6.17% here in pre-market due to earnings. Take a look at where it's at. We are right at this double top. right? We have 336.65 above, which is the high from the 13th, right? Last Friday. Hopefully that can break and push up. But IV crush is most likely going to occur, right? If you swung calls, unless you're in the money. I took a lotto. I took 330 calls. They were like $1,000, so I'll probably get IV crushed on those, but we'll see what happens. I don't usually play ER, but figured why not. I was up a lot, so. Can I review Tesla? Sure. Take a look. Delete everything and redo it. So I always like to delete everything just to get a fresh perspective. Right, so first thing I see is this zone right here. Right, this is a very important level. Right, previous resistance. Right, previous resistance. Right, acted as a resistance across the board, and then it started to act as a support yesterday. Right, we kind of have these. Kind of have this level right here. Not the cleanest of all resistance or trend lines, but maybe even draw from here. But that would probably be a little bit better. Not the cleanest, but if this can break over, right, this resistance right here on 129.99, so 130, just call it 130 flat, we should push up the high here of 136.68. Right, which is this previous level that we mentioned yesterday, right? Double bottom that turned into a resistance. Right, we also have higher and higher lows. Right, we bounced numerous times off this trend line here. So that looks pretty good. If this can hold, we should see a breakout over 130. Not too bad. BA looks pretty good too. Right, and this is my first time looking at it, right? So when you look at a chart, you should be able to see something right away, right? I just opened this chart for the first time today, haven't looked at it yet, but I see the setup. Right, what I see is, right, we have a perfect trend line here of resistance, and we have higher and higher lows. Right, that's what I'm looking for every time. Right, something like this every time. Doesn't need to be too perfect. Right, it's just the idea in order to create a plan. Right, if you have a plan, then you'll have a strategy. Yes, live on Spaces today. The whole bull trades team every Friday. Every Friday. Also, every third Friday, SPX has AM expirations showing in the options chain. Right? It already expired. So if you go to play SPX options, make sure that you're clicking the one that doesn't say AM, right? It's you want to play the PM ones. It's not going to say PM. It's just they expire later today, right? Just like a regular option would. Right? But we always get, hundreds of questions of, oh, the price is different. The price is different. It's because you're looking at the AM options that already expired. Right? Every third Friday, that is. Right, so make sure that if you trade SPX options, you're not looking at the AM expiration. Okay? What questions has everyone got? You guys got to keep it simple. Right? The SPY play was just an extremely simple technical pattern. Right, rising wedge, double top, into a double bottom breakdown, right? This is where I took those puts. My price target was the gap down below, right? With a stop loss above. It was as simple as that. How do I select strike price? So it's based on my target, right? This was my entry point. This was my target, right? So as a lotto, I wanted to, right? So as a lotto, I know the risk that I'm taking, so I'll go a little further out of the money. But I always pick, you know, somewhere near my target, right? My target was 391, so I went 2 days out for a swing trade, and I chose a 390 strike. Let's say, for example, we're trading Tesla today, right? And let's say, right, we break out over 130 today in the morning. I would look at a 135 call, right? It's right below my target, and it has an opportunity to go in the money. Okay, but you also have to factor in timing, right? Let's say we don't break out in the morning, and let's say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and right, we're still at 130 and my target's 136. I'm going to choose a closer strike because we have less time to close, to market close. I just looked at Tesla. Plan for today is to get a trade. Tesla is on the lists. BA is definitely on the list. I'm going to look at BA over 209.67 or below this level here at 204.82. Let's see what else we got on NVIDIA. Definitely like NVIDIA here. Okay, definitely adding this to the list. All right, something like that. Have a gap to fill over 171.97. Take a look at the higher time frames. What's going on here? All right, we kind of have like a cup and handle, sort of. Not the cleanest of all, but all right, cup, little handle. We're pulling back. Pretty interesting. This is a good risk to reward. I like it. It would be a quick trade. Right, it's a small little pattern, so it would be quick. It lines up with this resistance as well, right? Previous resistance acting as resistance was a previous support. Go back a little further, see if we got any important trend lines to take note of. What expiration date did you choose on? I chose today, Friday, because of how big the move was supposed to be. Right, I entered here and I wanted to see a move down to this level here. I didn't expect to see this huge move to the downside. Right, no one knows what's going to happen. Right, there's no way to be certain of what's going to happen. It's all based on probabilities and risk to reward. Right, and you create a plan around that. Right, I had no idea this was going to move down here, but based on probabilities, right, rising wedge has about a 70% success rate, right, and it typically sees a large breakdown, a rising wedge, right, and we have a gap to fill down below, right. There was multiple trigger levels. We had a double top. We also had a double bottom breakdown, right. So all signs were hinting towards a big move to the downside, right. I didn't expect to see this large of a move in one day, which is why I took 2 days out. Just comes with experience, right? But typically I'm trading 0 date expirations. Expiration. This is TradingView. I use Webull to trade. Webull to trade. I'll enter at the break. Always at the break. Do I take into consideration a volume shelf? No. Just the levels. That's it. I don't need any indicators to trade. None of these I need. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Right? All I need is the price. That's it. Maybe I should start charting like this because maybe it'll help you guys realize that you don't need indicators. Rivian, not looking at Rivian. All those stocks I hate playing. Neo, Rivian, and all of those. Palantir. Guys, I covered Tesla about 5 times. AJ, so take a look at the post I tweeted on Twitter. All right, how to spot fake breakouts or false breakouts. Read that and then come back. Same with you, Roman. Why do I dislike them? Well, first of all, they're in overall downtrends, right? They're lower volume. I like to trade SPX. Contracts move way better. It's the most liquid out there. And it's a great for day trading. Good luck, Clark. Good luck. SPX also has tax benefits. You guys want to look into that if you're trading a lot, which is why I like SPX. I don't want to pay as much taxes, obviously. Right, there's a high tax on short-term trading. So anything I can do to lower my taxes, I'll take. Take a look at Apple. Apple's super important always. Yeah, SPY. So SPY and SPX are the same thing, right? A 4,000 call on SPX is basically a 400 call on SPY. It's the same exact thing. Sometimes it's a little different. You have to go 1 or 2 strikes, differently, right? Like a 39.50 call on SPX would be a 395 call on SPY. And vice versa, 395 put, 39.50 put. Same thing, just not as expensive. And ES is just futures. This looks pretty bearish. Right, little bear flag here. That's ES. Right, so if this breaks below 38.91, this would actually be the trigger level, and then we would need to break that level. 3,900. If 3,900 breaks to the downside, we're going to test 38.91, and then we're going to probably push down to this zone here, around the low 3,800s. When I draw support and resistance lines, how important is it that I'm precise for general areas or trying to nail down specific levels? It's more just, understanding what the setup is, right? It doesn't matter if I draw this or like this, right? As long as I can see what the plan is based on what I have on my chart, that's all that really matters, right? When I look at this, 2 things flash in front of my eyes, right? An entry here or an entry here, right? Calls at the break of this with a price target above and a stop loss here, or puts at the break of this to the downside with a price target below and a stop loss here. Right? That's what I'm thinking when I see a setup like this. Right? Same with this, right? Anything with higher lows and lower highs, is exactly what I'm looking for, right? What I'm looking for is, right, puts below at the break with the price target below, with the stop loss above, or if it breaks out to the upside, which we got a little false breakout to the upside here, but then it created a triple top or even a quadruple top, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It couldn't break above. Right? I would look at calls above with the price target at the next resistance above with a stop loss below, right? No one knows what's going to happen, right? Here's a little false breakout. Can't win them all, right? Everyone has to understand that you're not going to win every single trade. It's impossible, right? So don't oversize, otherwise you're screwing yourself over. Trade small, right, which is the same thing as not oversizing, and you'll be good. It's as simple as that. Do not overcomplicate it. Don't worry about indicators. It's BS. How has my mindset changed? All I'm looking for is setups, right? If you're chasing profits and just looking to enter more trades, you're screwing yourself over and you're just setting yourself back every single day, day by day. Just look at the chart, right? Process over profits. 1000%. Process over profits every single time. Look at the chart, see what the setup is. Does it have a good risk to reward? Is there higher lows, lower highs? Is there a period of consolidation? Is there a pattern, right? Is there a major support and resistance above or below? And then play it, right? And size correctly. Got one stop losses. I don't use stop losses, so, you know, it is what it is. I have mental stop losses, right? So I guess I do, but, right? Again, it comes down to the plan, right? I have an entry point somewhere, I have a price target, and I have a stop loss in mind. It's all mental. As a beginner, I used to set hard stop losses and hard price targets, but now I don't really use them. It's all just mental because I have the self-control to exit whenever I need to. Right, and that comes with experience. Depends which account I'm using. My main account is 1 to 3%, right? And then I have the smaller accounts that I use to, you know, as like a challenge. And it's totally different every single time. It could be 5%, it could be 20%. Right? I have $1,000 account that I could full port every single time, but I don't care if I lose it. Just as many touches as possible, AJ. So Nflx is actually pushing a little bit here. It's at 338.2 in pre-market. Yeah, absolutely. You have to be quick. If you're not quick, then you shouldn't be trading, especially, or you shouldn't be day trading, I should say. Right? If you're slow at exiting and entering, it's terrible to be scalping or day trading. But you got accustomed to it. If everyone could please drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. Make sure that you're looking at my Twitter. I've been posting a ton of great educational content. All right, so go check that out. How did I get into trading? I used to sports gamble, so that's where it started. And then I heard about, I used to trade stocks. Well, not trade stocks. I used to invest, obviously, right, long term. And then I heard about options. Right, this was all like 10 years ago. And I took one option trade, my first trade. And the next day, news came out on the stock, and my option went up 1,000%. And I was hooked. I was blown away. I turned $100 into 1,000, and I was mind blown. I was literally mind blown. I was like, this is incredible. And then I was hooked, and I learned. I blew up my portfolio 1,000,000 times. I lost more than sports gambling in the beginning, and then I finally put it together, and I got my shenanigans together. It's just my name, Enhanced Market. Yeah, I put that Excel spreadsheet's pretty cool. It also tracks price in real time. Yeah, all my trades are posted in the Discord analyst alerts. Yeah, first one's always beginner's luck. It's crazy. But Spaces is starting in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go prepare for that with Sea Blast. So everyone get ready for the link to be posted. It'll be on my Twitter, it'll be in Discord. Right, so as always, you can always, find everything on Twitter or Discord. Yes, there's going to be a space. I can cover, any more of these questions that you guys have on Spaces. All right, so appreciate all of you stopping by as always. Drop a like before you head out. And I will see you there. Have a good one, guys.